Well, you all know I do a little bit of taxi work, don't you? So anyway, I was out this morning and I took Mrs. Figgins down to the doctor's and she had seen the gynaecologist down there. So she said to me, she said, you won't leave me here. She said, I'm 84 years old. She said, I'm dead worried about being left. I said, no, I won't leave you, Mrs. Figgins. She said, could you come in and make sure? And I went, all right. So I went and sat with her. And when she got called in, they left the door a little bit ajar. And I could see in there, see? And he said, come here, Mrs. Figgins. She said, I'm ever so nervous. He said, oh, never worry about it. He said, sit up there. He said, put your seat in the stirrups. He said, these stirrups are, he said, the stirrups are facing me. And I was looking, I was going, it's 84 mind. No, anyway. So she said, what's the matter? She said, I'm ever so nervous. She said, I'm really, really nervous. He said, well, don't worry about it, Mrs. Figgins. He said, it'll be all right. She said, well, can you get some of that jelly stuff you got on there? She said, so you don't hurt me. He went, yeah, I can do that. So anyway, so I can see through the cracks, and I gets this jelly, see? And he's rubbing it into her bloody, what do you call it? I forgot what they call it. I haven't seen it for so fucking long. And he was rubbing it in, see, and the phone went. So he's like that, and he picks the phone up, and he went, oh, I can't talk to you. He said, I got Mrs. Figgins in the stirrups. He said, the bloke said, obviously, as he said, he's lost. So he said, oh, that's all right. He said, go down the road. He said, and keep going. He said, until you get to the roundabout. He said, when you get to the roundabout, he said, turn right. He said, then go up right. He said, keep on going up there. He said, until you get to the next roundabout. He said, then turn left. He said, go down the road. He said, go over the Humpback Bridge. He said, over the top of the Humpback Bridge. He said, and carry on. He said, and when you come out the road, he said, you'll come up there and we're on the right-hand side. And then she went, right, he said, well, I'll see you in 5 minutes. Put the phone down. So Mrs. Figgins, he said, I'm sorry, Mrs. Figgins. He said, I hope you're, he said, I hope you're not too worried. He said about that. He said about the interruption. And she said, oh no, she said, I'm fine. She said, could you go back to the first roundabout?